out there, guys, just a few housekeeping rules. Please keep all of your arms, your legs, and your kids inside the bus. Any personal belongings like phones or cameras, if you drop any of them, please let me know. I'll radio a keeper to come out and retrieve that for you. And I do ask that as I am driving, guys, that you remain seated at all times. You may stand up, but only when I've come to a complete stop. Now, peak hour traffic here in Dubbo may be a little bit different to where you're all from. And that includes this giraffe straight off the bat that's in my way. Ah! Beep beep.
Alam pag nanasagyanan pong. Hindi na ako sa harapan natin na.
Here he goes.
I can see it on the camera.
Might just squeeze past it now. Take a look on your left there, guys. Wow. So that was Kindu. Wow, look at these two to your left-hand side, guys. That is Majanu, the lighter one. And we've got Umani, who's the darker one there. Now the reason Umani's darker, guys, is because he was our breeding bull and he's also the dominant male out here. So the older they get, the more testosterone throughout their body there, guys. And because he was a breeding bull, he also has extra testosterone through him, so that's why he's quite dark in spots. Since his time here at the zoo, he has had around 30 calves in total, with multiple women. Now see how he's licking that tree there, guys? Giraffes love to eat the bark off the trees, and it's what we call ring barking. But we actually wire up all of our trees here in the savannah so they don't kill all of them, but we leave 2 of them, and one of them is here on your left. And they'll use their tongue to sharpen those stumps and use it as a scratching post. He's having a good scratch there now. Check him out. Now their tongue, you might have seen him licking that earlier, guys. It's a nice long purple tongue. And giraffes love to eat all day, about 26 kilos of food. So their tongues are constantly sticking out in the sun. But if their tongue was pink, it'll get sunburned. So that's why their tongues are nice and purple. Now see how he's chewing on his mouth there, guys, but he's got no food? That is what we call chewing the cud. So the giraffes actually have 3 stomachs. So 3 stomachs means they can consume a lot of food there. But what they do is regurgitate their food back up into their mouth and break it down even further. It's called chewing the cud. Or as I like to call it, they're having seconds. There goes another giraffe having a scratch. And there's Kindu. Now coming up here to your right hand side, guys, you're going to see our little black bucks. Black bucks are the smallest antelope species in the world, as they're jumping there about now. Aren't they beautiful? Now they're an Asian species, mostly found in India. But they get the name black buck because when they hit sexual maturity, they will go completely black on their top half. These ones here are still quite young at the moment. Got some growing up to do. But the males are the ones with the antlers and the females are the does, the ones without antlers. But there's 2 at the back there. I don't know if you can see them. They're kind of tussling with their antlers together. They are growing up in the last month or so, and they're starting to fight over the does now and starting to fight with one another. So they're using those antlers to kind of have a bit of a tussle there. But they're very shiny, their coat, because they're constantly licking each other and grooming each other. Got that beautiful, shiny golden coat. Now, as we head around here, guys, all these nice big mounds that you see, with those rocks and the tree stumps, they're all used as enhancements for the animals, just to stimulate their natural environment for them. So take a look at our trees here, guys, all wired up. Wow, a duck! How exotic! Alrighty, guys. Now take a look out to your left and your right hand side on the ground and let me know whose poo that is. Stinky at the moment, but whose poo do you think that is? Rhino poo, well done. It's rhino poo, and rhinos, guys, they poo in the same spot every single time to create a big pile like that, and it's called a midden. It's very important for rhinos to do. It's how they fence off and mark their territory out in the wild, but it's also how they communicate with one another. So out of all 5 species of rhinos left in the world, white rhinos are the only ones that live together. And a group of white rhinos is called a crash. But all the other species are completely solitary from the age of 2 years and onwards. So they have to walk around and smell all these other piles of poo from rhinos. And in that poo, they can determine that rhino's age, the rhino's sex, and they can determine when a female is in cycle. So they go find that female and go, hello, I'm here to mate with you, based off the smell of their poo. How good would it be if it was that easy in the human world, guys? Maybe I wouldn't be single still. Just kidding. Or am I? And the other tree to the left, guys, it's ring barks from our giraffes. But speaking of our rhinos, here they are on your right hand side. So when I stop, you're more than welcome to stand up and have a look there, guys. 2 male southern white rhinos, and they're called Humphrey and Winston. Now they are brothers, guys. They're about 4 and 7 years old. Now poor white rhinos, their pregnancy is 18 months. Woo! Nice long pregnancy there for them, but they're only going to mate and breed every 3 to 4 years minimum. Now they're just grazing there on some hay at the moment, guys. They're herbivores. They only eat hay and grasses and fruit and vegetables. But they're going to hit about 3 ton at full growth. And at full growth, their horn, guys, can also hit about 8 kilos. And as beautiful as their keratin horn is, which is the same thing made out of our hair and nails, keratin, they are heavily killed and poached in the wild for that horn, unfortunately. So on the illegal trade, the black market, a rhino's horn will sell for around $60,000 per kilo. And it can weigh up to 8 in total. So it is unfortunately used as trophy hunting for a sign of wealth and status. And that's why we breed them here in captivity, to keep that species populated and alive. Now look at their ears. Watch how their ears move back and forth independently. They've got terrible, terrible, terrible eyesight. They won't see very clearly past 3 meters. So our bust to them right now looks like a big brown blob. They rely very heavily on that hearing, guys. So constantly hearing around, moving their ears about, understanding their surroundings. But they have a nice wide lip, very wide lip on them, on the mouth. In fact, the Afrikaans actually called them a wide-lipped rhino. But when the Afrikaans were pronouncing this to our Europeans, they said white rhino. And the Europeans heard white, not wide. And that is quite simply how they got the name white rhino, guys. Nothing to do with the colour of their skin. They're just grey. It happened through mistranslation. Now what we also can see from here, guys, are our elands. They're the second largest antelope species in the world. Guess which the largest one is? It's called the greater eland. So the elands here, guys, nice big antelopes. But from a standing position, elands can jump 2 meters high in the air. How antelope of them. But both male and female, guys, they've got those antlers. So the females have 3 twists in it and the males have 2 twists in their antlers. But they've got that nice bit of saggy skin on their neck. Can you all see that? It's called a dewlap. The dewlap does 2 things. The A helps protect their neck from the predators. So the predators typically go for their jugular. So that dewlap is a bit of a protection for their jugular there. But it also has a lot more veins and blood running through their neck, which helps cool them down. And it will cool them down about 1/2 degree, which doesn't sound like a lot to us, but for an animal in the African wild, 1/2 degree does make quite a lot of difference. Alrighty kids, what do we see here to your right hand side? What is that?
What is that?
It's an ostrich. Well done. This is Hondo, guys, and he's our only male ostrich living here in the bachelor pad. Now, ostriches, guys, in Africa, they're the largest and the fastest bird in the world, and they're going to hit speeds of around 70 kilometers per hour. But despite being the largest and the fastest bird, guys, our native Australian emus are the only bird species to have calf muscles. Us Aussies, we never skip leg day, do we, guys? But look at his shins. Look how pink his shins are. This is how he impresses the females. So he's going to fluff his feathers and push all that blood from his face down to his shins and turn them pink. But poor Hondo here, he's had no luck with our female ostriches. But it is scientifically proven, guys, if a male ostrich is shunned from the females, they will actually turn to human females. And he tends to come up here and kind of impress you all on the bus. He's tried many, many times with me, but unfortunately for Hondo, he's just not my type. Sorry, Hondo. He's beautiful. But the male ostriches are black in feathers, and the females are brown feathered. Guys, a bit bumpy here. Whee! Lots of rain means lots of new potholes for us out here. It's good fun. Feels like we're in Africa, doesn't it? Alright, I've got Kindu out here to your left, guys. Hey, Kindu. Isn't he beautiful? How long do you think a giraffe's neck is, guys?
3
About 1.5 to 1.8 meters in length on average. But kids, how big do we think a giraffe's heart is?
18 feet.
It's the size of a ball. What ball do you think? Baseball? A little bit bigger. A basketball. How big is that? They need a big heart, guys, to pump all that blood up that nice long neck of theirs. Up to their face and down those long legs. I can hear a few of you talking about our zebras. See them here? So 3 male zebras. There's our zebras, guys. Now, giraffes, try that again. Giraffes, like us humans, have their own unique spot pattern, like our fingerprints. So no two giraffes are the same. And zebras have the same thing. They all have got their own unique stripe pattern. So no two zebras are the same. In fact, when a zebra has a young baby, which is called a foal, that foal will spend the first 10 minutes of their life circling their mother and learning their mother's stripe pattern. And that's how they identify one another there, guys. But a group of zebras, guys, is called a dazzle. Any ideas as to why they might be called a dazzle? They create what's called the dazzle effect. So a group of zebras together create one big black and white stripy blob, but it's really hard for their predators, such as lions, to find one zebra to kill. So they create like a kaleidoscope and dazzle their predators, which is pretty cool. But what do you guys think? Are zebras black with white stripes or white with black stripes? They're actually black with white stripes. So look at their feet, their hooves, their nose, and their tail. They're black. If you shave a zebra, they're completely black skinned and their hair is white.